What up, guys? This is Casey Israel again, and this is the update of what the collection looks in 2021. As it's kind of the same, but it's also kind of different. Um, it's still a little messy. I try to clean it up a little bit. When you guys see it, you're like, always see it like this. You're like, oh, I don't see messy. Oh, I had like a vacuum cleaner right over there in that corner, and then a buttload of stuff on the ground. And plus, I had some of these marquee signs that I had for over a month that I hadn't hung. One that I tried to hang, but I couldn't able to. I was trying to hot glue it to my one shelving, but that's not successful right now. But I decide to do when I went in here doing a little cleanup here and there, and started looking at stuff. It's like, you know what? I need to show off some of the new stuff I got over the past year that added to the collection. So let's go ahead and start looking at it. Honestly, I got a ton of new shit up here. Like, I got the Retron 5 again that I've been using lately. I got the Retron 77 I need to try. I got this Pac-Man arcade, Coleco arcade thing just yesterday. Nothing much different in here except in this section set down here. You got the CDI section right down there. I got a huge, like for a while I was on a CDI kick. And or here pretty much the NES boxes section is pretty much filled to the brim, all the way down and all the way up to right here. You got Neo Geo games, and then you got a Atari porn game and a couple Famicom games in their boxes, and have 3 variants of cleaning kits. One of the biggest thing also was picked up of these Atari Jaguar boxes. So I had to do stack a bunch of stuff backwards. Well, I mean, in the back with the Jaguar games, and the same thing with the 7800 games to make room for the Jaguar boxes. Nothing really has changed in this area with this. Maybe a couple new Super Nintendo boxes. Nothing really new about the television boxes or the Atari boxes. I totally got a buttload more of Famicom Disk System games after I got my new Famicom Disk System. I got more of these cases to protect the rare or expensive games. As the NES, I pick up one every once in a while. It's kind of hard because I have a huge chunk of the NES library. But I would say lately I've been picking up a bunch of these reproduction carts. I still have some of them hanging around the house that I had not put away yet. And that was like Super Nintendo 64, hadn't got a lot. Same thing with GameCube. I picked up like Chibi Robo and Carmen Sandiego. I hadn't picked up a lot. Wii games. And I had the Wii U games that I've been trying to get the whole library. I'm getting there. I got a buttload of Wii U games, and the same thing the Switch games. I believe this past year I picked up was the Fairchild F, no, Channel F. So there's some of the games and a couple in their boxes. I've been picking up some more Sega Genesis games and Sega Master System games in their cases. Not much different over here. We got a couple more Sega Genesis games that I picked up. I have picked up a couple Sega CD games recently. I'm thinking about picking up a couple more at this video game store, but I need to take a picture and see what I have and what I don't. Haven't had anything really for the Sega Saturn lately or the Dreamcast. But I've been picking up some cool stuff like, well, I have the Sega, the Philips CDI with its box right here. You got the Game Doctor 3 SF right here. You got the Mario Kart home live circuit right there. I've been picking up some of the Sega Genesis game systems, like Sega Genesis Model 2 right there, and the Model 3 up there. But pretty much after that, really had nothing new in this area. Moving it around. You got this. Here's the Philips CDI, and I have added the digital video cartridge so you can play VCDs on this thing. And I have, I picked up the Sega. Oh, Sega. I don't know why I keep saying that. Picked up the Nintendo Game & Watch that they released recently. Picked up Atari 2600 box this past year. As these systems, not a lot different. You guys notice I picked up a bunch of these arcade marquees right here. Sorry, it's a little messy. I got a bunch of games and stuff I'm on the review. I needed to test that Retron 5, see if it's still any good. And really, here's a cool thing. I picked up this Zelda Game Watch in its box. And I picked up the Sega Genesis Mini this past year as well. And one of the favorite things I picked up recently is this Nintendo Famicom Gold Punch-Out that I can't wait to play soon. Pretty much after that, I mean, a lot of this is still the same after the last time I did this. I mean, I probably had more Coleco games that I shoved in there. Same thing with television games. But some of the stuff I have, I actually do have a Rob. Not famous. Yeah, I got a Rob right here. I picked it up, God, I would say almost 10 years ago, vintage stock, when I was living in Pennsylvania and I traveled home, and me and my wife were at vintage stock. I found one. I think I picked this up for $20, but I don't have no accessories. I do not know if it works. Probably doesn't, but I'm not sure. As that VMU, I've been crazy about picking up some Dreamcast, like that VMU in its box, and then like I got the Sega Dreamcast controller in its box, the fishing rod from the Sega Dreamcast in its box, the Dreamcast itself, and this is the the Dreamcast is in this one. And I believe I put all this has stuff in it. And I thought it was funny. Here's the RF adapter for the Dreamcast. Just in case you want it in worse visuals. But I have my black Sports Edition Dreamcast right there. Yeah, and then pretty much I picked up a buttload of PS4 games. Like joysticks, you know what? I did. I would say the closest thing is my modded arcade 1-up machine that I have over 800 games. But I did have a arcade. Oh, I do kind of have an arcade stick for my Neo Geo. So that's probably the other closest one I got because it's pretty much an arcade stick right there. That's pretty much an arcade. An arcade stick right there. But yeah, actually, I want to talk about modded. Like, yeah, getting those arcade 1-ups are awesome for being modded. But I picked up. Here's what's cool. There's a $50 bar top arcade machine. It's Galaga that someone could. It's for $50 on Walmart. That I've seen people do reviews where they can take that and put like vertical games on it. So I'm kind of in the market for that. But yeah, I mean, I thought it'd be a hell of a lot more to talk about. I mean, I have put a few more things like, let's go. Nice. I hung up this a Nintendo NES lid that I had signed with a bunch of YouTubers right here. Look, you guys take a good look at them. But what's funny, I picked this one up back in Pennsylvania when there was a town called Quakertown, and it had this lid and had the Angry Video Game Nerd signature and Guitar Guy signature. So I think I was about to move from Pennsylvania to Oklahoma, but that year, and I asked the Angry Video Game Nerd, it's like, hey, is this your signature? It's like, yeah, that's my signature. So cool. It's like, I didn't. So you want me to sign it again? It's like, nah, I just only want to make it sure it's yours. But, thanks, bro, about those, saying you love those arcade marquees. Oh, dude, I was at a flea market and they had a bunch of these signs. And I was like, dude, that's badass. And I just got on a kick on these arcade marquees. But as a kick right now, I think the biggest kick I have. Do I have any arcades still open where I live? Yeah. I mean, you have a couple of those bar arcade areas. Actual just arcade, I'm going to probably say no. Minus like Dave and Buster's. If it's just straight just arcade games, no. But as like bar arcades, yes, and Dave and Buster's, yeah. But after that, it's kind of like not a lot of arcade places around here no more. But actually, it's funny. There was one. Oh, dude, I used to love going to arcades. Like there was a giant arcade by this theater that it was the place to go to. And while you're waiting for your movie to start, you go next door to this arcade area, and it was just awesome. And then it became a Delta Cafe, and I don't even know what it is now. And it just sucks. I was like, oh. But then, like you said, golf lands. Like there was a big golf area that had like no, I had not heard about that. Not famous. Damn, that's awesome. Dude, I'd spend my whole day over there. But no, I hadn't heard that. I know there's places that's starting to bring some arcade games as a big thing back. Like there's a place in Pennsylvania, in Easton, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure they're still doing this now. It's called the Game Gallery. They had some arcades, but it was mostly a game store. And then they started like it was half and half. It had arcade machines and half a game store. So if they weren't awful on the prices on their video games, it would have been the awesome place to go to. I mean, they had good. They think like a quarter or maybe two for each get to play their arcade machines. But as like you get something, my favorite fighting game, honestly, I'm not a big fighting game fan. I mean, I love Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat games, but I'm not really good at them. I mean, I really remember back in the day playing Street Fighter 2 back in the arcade. And same thing with the Mortal Kombat. When Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 came out in the arcades, that was badass. But as I was never good. My brother usually kicked my ass in those fighting games. It's just you have to learn the combos. I'm like, and I don't want to learn the combos or the way like up, down, left, right, high kick, punch, just to throw like a Hadouken. So I'm not into doing that. I'm more like one of my favorite arcade games is like I'm not exactly sure. I might have not. Not famous. What was cool is that for a long time I actually did burn a bunch of Dreamcast games and played them. And obviously now I got a bunch of them legit, but that had probably been one of them that I played. But I need to get back playing more of the Dreamcast. I haven't played the Dreamcast in a long time. I mean, I do like the Dreamcast, but right now I've been playing like the NES or even the Retron 5 or the PlayStation 4 or the Switch. So right now those are like my main thing I've been playing on. Or the disc games for the Famicom disc system. that's just trying to aim right there. It's so hard to aim backwards. But yeah, I mean, as shooters, you know what? Here's one of my favorite shooters I used to play back in, like, for the NES. Was the 1942 games. That's like one of my favorite shooter games. And I was not good as like my brother was, obviously. So on for NES games and stuff, I was never good at them. As yeah, you know what? I have played that game before. I think I played it on I think I played a port version like on the Switch or something. I think they had it on the Switch. I believe I know what you're talking about. But I know it's an extremely expensive game. But I think it also was on the Saturn, wasn't it? I think it was on the Saturn first. But yeah. Well, I think it is. I believe it is on the Switch. Don't hold me to it, but I believe it is on the Switch. But yeah, I know that game's super expensive. Oh yeah, I agree about that. Same thing, you know, I would say the same thing about the Saturn. The Saturn had a bunch of arcade, I wouldn't say arcade perfect ports, but both Saturn and Dreamcast had a bunch of good arcade games on it. What's awesome is that nowadays they're starting to put out a bunch of these arcade games, like on the PS4, the Switch, and I'm assuming it's on the Xbox, but I hadn't been on the Xbox One for a while. But I mean, I actually have this shooter. I know people were like, likes this, but I'm not a big fan of this shooter. I can't even pronounce it. It just says the second tournament official soft summer carnival 92, then Raka right below wherever that says. And I paid like 50 something bucks for that. I was not a big fan of that, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go eat. Oh, have I played Night Trap on Sega CD? Yeah, no, I got that on the Sega CD, and also I have it on the Switch, and the game is god awful. And honestly, I don't see why they're like, oh, we need to ban this game, because the only thing that was kind of violent is when they had that freaking contraption. It's like a gun with a freaking like a clamp that goes around this chick's neck, and then I think it started maybe drilling into her neck, but that was the only thing that was like violent. Everything else, it was kind of like stupid. So we have way more crazier violent games out there than Night Trap. I mean, shoot, even Nintendo. I remember back when, well, I remember a statement like Nintendo, like, we'll never have Night Trap on our Nintendo systems. You know, God, 20 plus years later, it's on the Switch. So, I would say maybe almost 25 years, and it's on the Switch. or close to 30 almost, but it's that game's awful. And then I think, was it called Double Switch? That's awful too. They could have really utilized the Sega CD a lot better than they did. There's a few games that are cool, like obviously Sonic CD, but I get motion sickness with that. Oh yeah, they have it on no, yeah, it's on the Switch. It's on PlayStation 4, and I'm gonna assume if it's on those two, it's gotta be on the Xbox One. But like I even got the Switch edition physical, but I had it I think I picked it. No, I bought that off Limited Run Games. But yeah, I mean, I really think Sega CD could have been like blew Super Nintendo out of the water if they did it right. I mean, you did games like Sonic CD, but you had some garbage games like Night Trap. You got games like Double Switch. You got games like the Power Rangers. That's all it is. It's just you hit up, down, left, right, 1, 2, or was it A, B, and C buttons, and it's literally playing the first episode of Power Rangers. So they could have done something really awesome, and they didn't with the Sega CD. I mean, what's funny, back in the day, I heard of the Sega CD. I've never heard of, for a long time, I've never heard of the 32X. I'd never heard of the Saturn. I kind of heard about the Dreamcast until long later, like in the early 2000s. Oh, I love the Wii U. See, that's the thing is, I love the Wii U because one, you can play some of the cool things that's some of the cool games that were on the Wii. You could play on the Wii U. I don't really see. The thing is, that was $99.99. I never saw that advertising when it was happening. I only saw some Dreamcast games here and there. Right around that time, it's all about the PlayStation N64. That's all I knew was those two. And I had an N64, and I thought PlayStation 1 was the adult version. You were supposed to be like, how I feel like you're supposed to be 18 or older to have the PlayStation. But I love the Wii U. I mean, there's a bunch of games on the Wii U that I love that are now on the Switch. I mean, like Mario's 3D World and Pikmin 3. I still think there's a couple games I would love to see them push it on the Switch. Is Yoshi's Woolly World, and I don't see that happening because they have Crafted World, and I love to see Nintendo Land, but Nintendo Land, you kind of need the two screens to have that. But I mean, all the cool games, all the great games that are on the Wii U is pretty much on the Switch now. And it's smart of Nintendo to do that because they don't have to put too much effort to push these over to the next system. And people who didn't get a chance to play them could now if they have the Switch. So I'm all for that because it just sucked what happened to Wii U. I mean, when I was living with my brother-in-law and my late wife, we loved the Wii U. we played the Wii U a lot more than our 360 at the time. So, yeah, but I'm getting a headache. I need to eat some food. Oh, Bowser Fury is freaking awesome. I highly suggest it. It's kind of a mixture between Odyssey and 3D World. I highly suggest playing Bowser Fury. It's short, but it's fun. I haven't finished it yet, but I got like 75 cat shines. So I'm like almost there. I mean, already beaten Bowser twice on it. So it's fun. I highly suggest playing it. So I'm gonna take off. Thanks for coming by. Not famous, and I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna be on Drew's show, the Derailed News podcast channel tonight. I might do something later on, but I'm gonna go eat. Thanks for coming by. That was fun. And I'm gonna do another one about when I'm in the game room. I was gonna bring it in there, then when I was walking through it, I was like, oh dude, it's all messy. It's like I am not showing this right now. But thanks for coming by. I am out skis.